My mother made a comment, a request in the chat. She's asking me to comprise a questionnaire by asking the panel what white people can ask themselves to assess the levels and arenas in which they are racist. Any quick fire responses?
I gotta go. Peace. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't, I mean, what I would say, because, you know, like, I'm someone who's mixed. Like, I'm halfway as well. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I would say just be just be conscious of it. Like, just be conscious of the way that other people are living. Because I think what the thing is like, there's white people that, like, they're in their own world. They don't think about, like, what's going on in other people's lives. And it's like they're kind of just in their own world, and they're not conscious of it. They're not really conscious of, like, what's really going on in the hood or in the ghetto or whatever. Just be conscious of it. Be around more black people, because I think what it is like, it's just a disconnection. It's like white people are just with other white people, and it's cool, but I think they need to be around more black people, because black people, they could teach you things, and they can be real to you.
Allow me to put that into a question. When white people are in groups with only white people, they could ask themselves, why are there only white people in this room?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. And it's like, but I applaud, like, you and, like, Joe, and, like, cause, like, you guys really want to know. Like, you guys are really doing your research, really, like,
yeah,
you
but
guys
be careful with that, Jelani. I made that mistake in the movement against sexism of holding panels like these and applauding the men for participating, but really it's a man's problem to solve and to deal with. So applauding men.
Well, yeah, but I mean, okay. See, the thing is, I gotta give. I mean, yeah, like, you could say that, but I gotta give credit, like, where it's due. Cause, like, think about, like, all the white people that are just watching Netflix right now and just chilling and shit.
Applaud everybody here for showing up and having an intersectional conversation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what it's all about.
Don't give white people props for solving white people problems.
But I mean, I'm not saying it like that. I'm not saying.
I hear you,
Like,
Jelani. I think it's like space.
Like, when you're taking what I'm saying differently.
I just got hired at this company as a consultant to help them hold them accountable for their mission statement, and to, you know, make sure that they are, you know, about providing change within the media or whatever. Basically just being a black person to turn up with them. So part of my job that I'm literally doing, and I'm going to get back to as soon as I'm done with this, is coming up with a character assessment questionnaire for new hires. So I have it right now, and I want to talk about this because I just added one while we were talking, just having to do with white people and racism. Let's talk about it. 1, how do you contribute to making the world a better place? 2, describe what you think the role and responsibilities of media are. That has nothing to do with, you know, what's called. But why should we hire you? But then let's talk about white people. Why should I respect you? Why should I respect you as a white person? Not as a person. You know, what are you doing to make the world a better place? Back to that, right? What are you passionate about? What area are you looking to grow in? I think that's very important for people to actually actualize as a question, like, you know, understanding that there's room to grow. Following up on that, what do you hope the generation after you understands? When's the last time you were wrong? I think that is very important for white people to understand, so they can learn and not just do the same shit over and over and over again. what has 2020 taught you? This has been a year of absolute fuckery, but if you have not learned anything from this year, sit your ass in the corner and shut up. And then last one that I just wrote down right now, which I think is so funny, and I want to answer this for myself, is on a scale from 1 to 100, how racist are you? If anybody says 0, they're lying.
And that can be anyone of any color, because we've all been taught it. You know, people come from families with multiple skin shades, multiple colors. It's not, white supremacy mentality is not exclusive to white people.
Absolutely. I also think an important question to ask is in what ways do people see whiteness as the default, like in your life, right? Because I can identify that even for myself. And in a lot of our like South Asian cultures, like there's a lot of internalized whiteness in terms of like things like just the ways that people think about even things like colorism in our own cultures, and just there's so much that like whiteness is central to in terms of, and it affects the way that people see themselves. But I also think it's important to ask like how is it visible to you? Where is it central to you? And is it media? Is it your teachers? Is it your bosses? Like what's your representation that's non-white in your life? And like, I guess another thing is, man, I had a question and it's like, not like, it's swirling around there, but if I think of it, I'll come back to it. But I had a really good question. I'm mad I just lost that one.
That one from someone in our audience, Yasmin Vaughn, added a question for white people to ask themselves. What is the last movie about Black folks you saw, or last Black author you've read? If not, why?
Yeah.
Solid.
Mix it up.
Yeah, Cara, I think tied to the question that your mom so eloquently put. First of all, Miles, you had me laughing. So I'm your biggest fan right now, both you know, literally and figuratively. I'm a huge dude, but for me, I would keep it at the most basic. I'm a simpleton. I got the degree, but that's nothing special to me. I haven't opened it since I graduated. Doesn't matter. To me, it's about the conversations that I can potentially have. So for me, it would be tied to some type of question towards having conversations or tracking your conversations. So as if to say, you know, I had 3 conversations today. You know, and here's how my mind was expanded today. I spoke with Ravina. We talked about this, that, and the third. So I love her stance on self-awareness and mental health. That's amazing. And I feel like there isn't a person on the planet who's a part of the 8 billion people that couldn't benefit from that. And I think that if a person comes to terms with that and says, oh, wow, I got stuff to work on, like that's the goal. You know, that's one conversation leading to a goal, leading to now that there's a goal, we have to achieve that goal. So, you know, just for me, I've had so much fun with you guys, and simply, you know, how I would add to your list of questionnaires, simply tracking conversations and what I learned from those conversations.
Awesome. All right. I think it's time to wrap up this very interesting, fun, and long conversation. All right. It's not quite. Miles has something to add. Go ahead.
One more thing. Look, call to action. Understand why you're doing things. So really question every single thing that you're doing without being, you know, super paranoid. Just understand if you're doing it because somebody told you that you're doing it, or because you're doing it because you want to do it, or if you're trying to impress somebody. Like, really think about everything you're doing be intentional, be aware. Today, this is what I learned. I tried to make a turkey sandwich, and I tried to make a turkey sandwich. I love turkey sandwiches. And I looked at the packaging of the turkey sandwich, of the turkey, and it's Columbus turkey, and it has a picture of Christopher Columbus on it. And I literally, 40 minutes before, had posted on my Instagram, like, fuck July, fuck Christopher Columbus. I was going off earlier. But, like, the fact that I was, like, actively denouncing Christopher Columbus and about to use this turkey that I've been using for years, I'm like, just pay attention. How did I miss this? Like, I want everybody to really, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, why? Are you down with that? Are you actively, like, participating in this because you want to and you understand? Like, last thing I'm gonna say. So, like, my favorite teacher from high school he's boycotted Thanksgiving from the beginning of, he's been on that. He raised his daughters to not celebrate Thanksgiving. They have a little dinner and they go to the movies. That's tradition. For his class, we're on the origin and actual real, story of Thanksgiving. And we had 3 options. It's like, do you fully boycott it and, go to the movie, do something else? Do you bring it up and start a dialogue at the dinner table and, get uncomfortable and, start that conversation? Or are you just complicit and remiss and, actively being aware and choosing against doing something different? And I think that's what we need to do with all these, systematic, learned behavior things that we do.
100%, Miles. And for me, everything at past that or added on to that is the thought of what Ravina's shooting for, which is, wait, where does that stem from? Where does that come from? Why am I letting it affect me right now? Why, you know what I mean? So, like, digging deeper for yourself first. Now it's going to show you, okay, now when you gain peace over time by asking yourself those questions of, why did I eat that sandwich today? Why did I let these things irk me the wrong way? I was laughing a little bit, so, Miles trying to, but Ravina, understands, like, and her stance is understand yourself first, and then, like what you were saying, Cara, let that, bro, using the law of attraction, once you understand it, let it branch out and share upon. So it's really, I feel like it's coming for all of us, and it is. We continue to speak it, and I will for all you guys, and it's the best is yet to come, guys. Keep fighting the good fight is what I always say. And for me, I always say, right after I listen to somebody, whether a minute or 5 hours, I always say, wow, so you've been through it, huh? And I feel like if I asked any of you questions or a set of questions or whatever, wow, you've been through it, huh? So I leveled the playing field, because I have quite a story too. So now we can talk, and now we can get to that meaty, gunky stuff that, like, kind of, it's like, it's yucky, it's gunky, but, like, we want to get out of it. And when we rise above it and we get to that point, then it's like, okay, cool. Now I feel a new level of closeness, a new level of surpassing this type of stuff. So,
well, I think any ending we give to this conversation is going to be fairly arbitrary, because it can spring to many, many more. Let's hope it does. If you're still with us in the live stream audience, we will continue this conversation in a number of ways. We are releasing new episodes from Essential Stories of panels we've had both online in live stream and offline. And you can find those panels on our YouTube channel, those episodes rather. Our YouTube channel is Essential Stories Project. And we will also be having another live panel on July 29th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, with a new panel exploring this topic once more: how can we create a new reality beyond racism? So thanks for joining us tonight. And I want to thank everybody on this panel for your contributions and your good work in the world and your vision and your insight. Thank you so much. It's been really fun in sharing this space with you. Like, share, and subscribe so that we can make sure that these essential stories are heard by more people.